Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CantoSense. We're here to embrace Chinese culture for Christian living so we can live fully Christian and fully Chinese.
Confucius has written about 5 key relationships that are bedrock of the Chinese culture, and we've looked at a few of them. But today we would look at one of the key ones, which is friendship. The themes of harmony, relationship, and friendship are so key in the Chinese culture that you see it featured in a lot of the ancient Chinese arts, from literature to paintings and so on. So it's definitely a key part of who we are, of the Chinese identity.
Since we're talking about friendship, I need to ask about Guanxi. Guanxi in Mandarin, or Guanhai in Cantonese, means relationship. It's such a common term that is thrown around within Chinese culture, but now Westerners have also picked it up and realized that it's something that cultural Chinese do. So if you want to do business in a Chinese speaking country, you need to understand Guanxi. So cultural trainers or someone preparing someone from Idaho to go to Shanghai will say you need to understand Guanxi. But from my experience in Asia, there are many people of many cultures who have a possibly confused understanding of what Guanxi even really is. And even I think Chinese people themselves don't all exhibit Guanxi in the conventional way or the way it's supposed to be exhibited. Well, for this very complex concept, we are so glad that it's not just us sitting here talking about it. We have help. Well, we want to welcome you, Wancheng, to CantoSense. Wancheng is an aficionado of the Chinese arts, including calligraphy and poems.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hannah. Thank you, Ai-Ching. Yes, indeed, friendship is often written about. In fact, there is a concept in Chinese art, Chinese culture, Chinese poetry. There's a concept of 真善美, 真善美. So if you translate it into English, is truth, good, and beauty. And friendship is one of these themes that, kind of check all the boxes.
So at CantoSense, we're always talking about the values that undergird a situation or a quirk or a nuance. And so in this aspect of friendship, what are some of the values? What are the distinctives that really characterize the Chinese depiction of friendship?
It kind of brings my mind back to a book by Li Tang, The Importance of Living. And he writes about being Chinese. Yeah, things that are all things Chinese. He talks about friendship too. So he said that when you're going on adventures, when you're going on trips and outings, you want big-hearted friends to go out with you, right? To embrace nature, to embrace beautiful surroundings. And then when you want friends for a nice intimate chat at night over wine, you want beautiful, elegant friends, beautiful not just in terms of appearance, but in terms of their spirit, their countenance, people who appreciate the finer things of life. In times of need, you need the utilitarian, you need the useful, practical people around you.
When people think about Chinese people doing business in China, for example, or even working with Chinese people, you have to establish Guanxi.
There are always two camps of people. There will be people who understand the level of Guanxi on a superficial level, and they do it just from a utilitarian point of view, right? I kind of build enough of a friendship with you so that I can get you to do things for me, right? That's definitely going on. That's definitely going on. However, I'm also discovering that a more effective and more powerful way to build the real Guanxi, we can talk about the real, genuine, authentic Guanxi, is to offer up something that is sincere.
In Cantonese, we would say "yamo seng yi," right?
Yamo seng yi,
right? You don't like a gift could be like, oh, here's a box of tissues. Okay, that's not a gift that has any seng yi, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I don't want to say this is not present in the Western friendship paradigm, but in the Chinese paradigm, I can tell you that there's something very romantic about connecting on a very deep level. So I would say the Chinese connotation of friendship has that element of romanticism.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe that's the defining thing about Chinese friendship. Not that it's not present in the West, but it's very present in the Chinese world and Chinese culture. Celebrating seasons together.
Correct.
Having a walk with a friend on an autumnal day.
Yeah. Yeah.
viewing a mountain together, taking
Yeah.
a boat ride together on an excursion with friends. There is
It's
something
actually very big
beautiful,
and abstract
romantic.
about it, right? Yeah, in the
Yes.
romanticism.
Romance is abstract, right?
Yeah,
Yes, and
and
not
it's
romance, not
artistic.
romance in that narrow
Yeah,
definition
yeah,
of,
yeah.
boy girl
Absolutely,
romance.
absolutely. Yeah.
But
In the
romance in terms
arts
of
perspective, in the
arts perspective,
beautiful,
the
yeah,
level of sincerity of friendship towards one another,
absolutely.
right? And it's not utilitarian. So I'm becoming your friend, not because I want to get something out of you.
Mhm.
We talk about win-win. Not so much a genuine friendship, but a win-win where I can be of use to you, you can be of use to me. I think in Chinese, it goes beyond win-win. Deeper level, very authentic connection between two human beings.
I love what you say about how there will always be two camps, one who will take Guanxi for its utilitarian
On a superficial level.
on a superficial level, and of course then those who really appreciate Guanxi for what it truly is. And I think this is where we come in and we talk about how even Guanxi needs to be redeemed, you know.
Yes.
And I think as I think about redemption and as I think about friendship, you know, it reminds me of John chapter 15, where Jesus was talking to his disciples. And obviously we know and we read in scripture how Jesus, he was the rabbi, he was the teacher, but he also was their friend, you know. And this is at this point where he talks about how greater love no one has than this, you know, than to lay down one's life for his friends. And he didn't stop there. Obviously, you know, over there he was talking about how he would eventually, you know, basically saying he's gonna lay down his life for them. But then he goes on to say, I have called you friends, you know, to his disciples. And I think that's really powerful as we think about friends, you know, in the Guanxi very deep sense of what it means to be a friend. And what Jesus said, I see a parallel where there's deep sincerity, there's deep love, so much so that you're willing to give your life. And this is where the Guanxi comes in, that I'm willing to give up my life, and you, because you love me too, and you're willing to give your life up, you know, for me as well. And I think that's friendship in at its
But that level of
highest.
friendship
Absolutely.
is only possible. That level of sacrifice is only possible because it's grounded in something so deep, right?
Exactly.
I mean, if you tell someone who's got the superficial utilitarian approach, well, you should be, forget giving up life. That's a little extreme. You know, even just giving up money or time or sincerity. It's like, well, you know, but if it's grounded in such deep affection for each other, then that level of sacrifice, you don't even question. You know, if I call someone in the middle of the night and say, hey, can you come help me? If it's grounded in that deep level of friendship, no question, I'm there. It's 3 a.m. I'm there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this is where it's grounded in the love that God has for us. We love because he first loved us, right?
Yes.
And again, like you say, Hannah, it's not possible for us to do this unless it is grounded in true love that we have experienced from Christ, and therefore we then love with his love as well.
Yeah, it's just a natural thing when it's at that level.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much. I think we've learned a lot from you.
I think we've learned together. I've learned from you too.
So this idea of Guanxi done the right way is just another area of Chinese culture that we can not reject, but redeem. If done the right way, it actually is very much in line with the type of friendship that Jesus exemplified in his life. We look forward to seeing you again soon.